Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to gallery number 3. We're going to start with part 1, and this is the gallery of my pictures. And it's quite extensive. There's going to be a lot more blow-ups because of the clarity. It's much finer, and I spend a lot more time with them. And a lot of these, I will be explaining some of these galleries that I have taken pictures of through the years, and different places from different collections, and just going back to the mid-90s. I think I started taking pictures of them like in 94, 95, yeah, 1994. And I had to do a lot of experimentation to get it right, and I'll be explaining what I used, how I used it, and a little bit more background and detail on many of these artifacts. And a lot of them don't exist anymore that I know, and a lot of these artifacts I have owned. Many of them I have brokered for other people. And so that's where we're coming from. A lot more detail, a lot more photographs. I think you'll enjoy it. More of the same. And if you get tired of hearing me, just mute this and speed the tape up. You'll be fine. Thank you. We're going to start this gallery off with animals. And just alphabetical order. And we're going to blow this up. This is some kind of anteater, aardvark, or something like that, I would say. It's a small stone. I took this picture, I don't know, 2013. These pictures are going to go back to 2013, 2011, all through the late 90s, early 2000s, down to the mid-90s. I just have them in subject matter, not by when the picture was taken. And this is the reverse of the same stone. Some kind of graphic image. This is a sandstone statue. He does stand up on his head, but not real well. And it's about 10 inches tall, native sandstone. I can't remember who had this. Might have been me. This probably could have gone in lions, but he's a cat. Animals is fine. This is a picture taken back in 95, 94, I believe. And I've used this animal here on several different videos. It's a cat with wings and I don't know, man. It might be something else. I call it a cat with wings. And how are you going to describe that? I don't know what this guy is. And this was one of my favorite stones because it had a type of a Amasiosaur on it. And it's absolutely spectacular. This is the whole stone. And this stone got destroyed, this tablet got destroyed in a fire in 2008. And all I have is pieces of it left. But I'm going to blow it up. And this is definitely some kind of aquatic creature. And you can see that it has a fairly long neck, and this is the bottom of the neck here. And the head is upside down with the crest pointing downward and the mouth leaning upward. And this is fantastic artistry. Fantastic artistry. And you'll notice that the fins on the front are wide open and spread wide because this would be much more compelling as far as moving in the water. And the plesiosaur of today has 4 small fins, and when I was at one of the museums in a Museum of Natural History of Los Angeles or whatever, I asked the paleontologist there, I said, could those fins have actually been wider and then shrunk up after he died? He said, I don't know. It's possible. Well, now we're going to look at the tail. Tail comes down around here and goes behind him here, comes around this way, goes back again behind him. It's just like a double slip knot. And then behind the neck, and then boom. Someone in ancient times had to have seen this creature. This is not a mythical creature. was a little bit about the size of your hand. Incredible artistry, and this is one of the things that really kicked me into gear for doing more on dinosaurs as well. I had to find this guy, but I made several other discoveries concerning dinosaurs by having ancient tablets with the dinosaurs carved on them, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I'm just saying. Here's our next fine example of an animal. I took this picture probably in 2013. It's pretty big, about what, over a foot long. Here's the other side of him. And here's the next one. I call it a dog head. It's about 7 inches tall. Not real clear though. Could be a dog. You can see it's got the canine looking teeth here. I call it a dog, but it's some kind of canine. Same stone, reverse of it. This stone here was deciphered, I think, at Isaac or in Tomb Tape 4 or whatever. You'll notice it appears to be an Egyptian hound, and it's obviously a female. And here's the reverse of it. And I can't remember word for word, but it was a very pleasant animal to be master of, or to own, to subjugate to. Yeah, very, very nice, very good animal, very loyal animal. The loyal could be loyal, good. I don't want to get busted by the grammar police, but it's on, I think, Tomb Tape 4 and Isaac. One of the earliest. This stone was deciphered like over 25 years ago. Here's another good shot. You might think, well, it's kind of got a dog head, but the way the tail is up doesn't really make it look like a dog. But maybe they're just trying to put the tail close to the body to save space. Is it a dog? Is it a cat? Blow its face up. What is that? Here's another one. Dog, cat, pig, what? Now I had this stone for a while, for a few years, and it's an African ibex, and this animal is extinct today. It ran extinct a little over 1,500, 1,600 years ago. This particular animal became extinct. And this is in bas-relief. In other words, the ibex is lifted up out of the stone. It's this all around it that's polished down and carved. This is lifted out, and so is this. So why would somebody carve a stone in bas-relief of an extinct animal from Africa that is extremely obscure and sell it for $20? $15, $10. Check out the artisan in this. And I believe this stone did fly through forensics. Here's another, kind of looks like a cat rat. Got a big paw here. It's a small stone, maybe about 2.5, 3 inches. Now we're going to look at a lion. Spend a little time with this. It's a real nice tablet. It's quite fragile. Gonna blow it up. Gonna let you look at it. We're gonna spend a little time on this stone. Here you can see the rear of the lion pretty good. And there's some markings over here. Here's the head of the lion coming down here. You can see his eye. Here's his lower chin and jaw. Here's his front paw. Here you see a sad sun. There's some designs up here. And this right here is clearly an Egyptian column. Now we're looking at the lion, more pronounced. Next photograph. You see his face over here, a lot more clean. And it's got character in his face too. See the eye, the mouth, and his mane is starting to come through here. There's that ugly little son. Now I'm showing a more pronounced facial pattern here with this photograph. I took several photographs of this tablet. It's beautiful. And here you can see more clearly the designs in front of him here. And here's a better shot of the far right hand side. You see this Egyptian pillar over here. I'll blow it up a little bit more. Along with these designs here. Quite uncanny. Really nice piece. Next is this guy here. I think we've shown him in a couple of other galleries, or he will be in another couple of galleries. It's not a big stone. Let's blow him up. See his nose coming down here, beard, wings, and that's... If you thought that this might have looked Egyptian, you would be correct. Really nice, well executed tablet. I guess you could call this the director's cut, where they show you the movie and talk about the stuff in it. This appears to be some kind of cat. It's an old picture. This goes back to the mid-early 90s. I'm going to call it a cat. There's the tail. It's got a short tail. Could be something else. What does it look like to you? Well, first of all, you'll see here, this stone is really big. This artifact is big. It's big. Here's like, what, 9 inches by, what, 10 inches tall? And it's in animals, and I'm not sure. I call it a monster cat. And I would assume at this point that this stone here might be for sale. Good looking tablet. Good looking tablet. Hey, buddy. Here I'm showing Party Rock again because I'm not so sure that anybody else is going to see it on Addendum 5 where I cover the same thing. And so this is a duplicate, which I feel it needs to be here. You can see this stone here is huge. It's about maybe 20, almost 24 inches from here to here. I mean, it's a big stone. It weighs about as much as a sack of concrete, and it appears to be some kind of hardened sandstone, possibly native. I'm going to blow it up. It's got a bunch of animals here. It's got R here. It's I would call that a prehistoric dachshund. Again, it's got 4 suns flying up here. Looks like a deer here. It could be a snake symbol. There's a snake there. And you'll notice it's got script down here. And this down here is not real clear. And it appears that this stone had been submerged up to about this line here. It has a line where it appears that this bottom half here was in sediment. But I'm going to blow up on the animals, because here's a dandy. Here's a dandy here, and I'm just going to leave you. What kind of animal is that? How would you describe that animal to somebody over a cell phone or something? What would you say? What would you say? That is very, very interesting animal. And we'll just show the others here. But we do see this what I call prehistoric dachshund. We do see it. I mean, it's obviously not. We do see it in other tablets, and we see this guy here in other tablets too. We're gonna become more familiar with him. In some places, he is designated as a dragon or a monster. But hey, it's hard to put them all together because there's so much subject matter. I call this pig head. Here's a shot from the side. Not real clear. Not sure what the purpose of that would be. You know, if you carved it and you were going to sell it, hey man, I just got the face of a pig head, nothing more. How much you want for it? Oh, maybe $1. Here's another really small tablet. Yeah, I would call it some kind of seal. And here's the other side of it. Here's another really nice tablet. It's small, and it's a seal, I would say, of some description, or sea lion. Here you can see his flipper. And let me blow it up one more time. But there's so much character in the face. He's looking up, but even though he's looking up, he appears to be sad, which is, you know, I would say hard to do. Usually, any kind of face that's sad is looking down, and you don't see too many sad faces looking up. So I call that experimental artisan. I mean, that is just absolutely fantastic. And I believe this stone flew through forensics also. Okay, this stone is very small. I would say probably the size of a nickel. And it is carved in marble, and it is some kind of, I would say, salamander or mud puppy of some description. There are other mud puppies that we will see. But, I mean, why would somebody go to the expenditure of time and materials and labor to carve such a very small animal of really very little significance? I mean, these guys don't attack people or anything, but it's very small. Say, this guy is probably the size of a nickel. Next is this ferocious animal. Here's another one that's probably the size of a penny, and it's well executed. And say, well, it's a whale because it's got the fins here, but it appears to have feet. It's probably between the size of a penny and a nickel. Incredibly crafted. This is our next animal, and this creature, in Georgia, we call it a mud puppy. You see, he's clearly an amphibian. And we call them mud puppies. He appears to be larger than a... But this tablet is probably the size of an Ike. Here's the next one. And I tried to get a really clear shot of it. It is kind of bizarre. It's some kind of... I don't know, man. I don't know. And it's got something up here. And it was hard to get a good shot of this with my... This was shot back in the mid-90s when I was using a Yashica 35mm camera. And I had to use Kodak or Fuji 100 film with the iris on the camera wide open, lots of lights with a long shutter speed, and because it had to click with a lot of light on the 100 film. That's how I did these back in the mid-90s, because you didn't have digital cameras. There were no digital cameras, and it was expensive. Film was expensive. Developing was expensive. Yeah, oh my goodness. I spent hundreds. Now today, just one SD card and a camera and a phone, and boom. No big deal. But it's a weird animal. Don't know what it is. Okay, here's another good. This is a dandy. It's got the curlicue tail. Maybe this guy is kin to the one back there on Party Rock. They don't exactly look the same. This guy's got a small horn on his forehead, between his eyes. Kind of spikes there. All of them's got the 3 spiked feet. Okay, this is a nice heavy stone. Appears to be native sandstone of some description. And it's got a real handsome sun in the middle of it. And I'm going to blow him up so you get a good look at him. And he is in animals because of the reverse of this stone. And here's the bottom of the reverse of the stone. And there it is again, ladies and gentlemen, another one of those prehistoric dachshunds. And there's some weird kind of stuff here. Next we have a sun here that appears to have a turtle head on it. And the circle is perfectly round on all of these tablets where it's a circle. The circles are I can't freehand draw a circle perfect. And there's not that many people that can. Try it. Try it. Get some paper out with a pen and draw a perfect circle. 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, or whatever. You might run into some problems. But here we have a lizard It's got the forked tongue here, and it's going up through this way. Got feet here, feet there. Here's our next turtle. And this guy is small. He's like the size of a quarter. Well, why in the world would somebody carve in marble a turtle like that and polish it? We see artifacts with these collections in these galleries that we do not see anywhere else the world over. But we've got plenty of turtles, plenty. Okay, what is this guy and where is he from? And this is real small too, probably the size of an Ike. This is a sandstone, I would call it a bear. It's either a bear or a wolverine or something. Real nice, well-executed piece. It's about 8 inches long, maybe 3.5, 4 inches wide. Weighs probably 5 pounds. And I would say native sandstone. Here's the other side of it. And this is the face of it. And you'll notice with my camera lens and everything, I could only get like 1 inch of depth. But I wanted that 1 inch to be clear. So you see the eyes, the face, but here back in his buttocks and stuff, you can't see what the flip. It's just all blurred. And same thing over here too. And that was the, part of the problem with these old what do you call them, analog cameras? These old school film cameras. Ah, breakfast. How do you impress upon the cat that he needs to eat some Fancy Feast? How can Fancy Feast compare? Why don't they have mouse-flavored Fancy Feast? Moving forward to the next section I call Aquatic Animals, which covers fish, whales, dolphins. In this case right here, could be a beluga whale. And this is a very, very small artifact. This guy could have gone in trinkets. He's like the size of a quarter. Here's the other side of it. That's why I call it a beluga whale. Could be some kind of weird dolphin though, or even an extinct mammalian fish, aquatic animal. Next is this guy, which if I remember right, he's like 4.5, 5 inches long. He is a fish of some description, but he got some gnarly teeth in there. Here's the other side of him. Here's another one that's really small. I mean, you see the hole there, which is probably less than 1/16 of an inch. So this guy's an inch or less. An inch or less, and it is an aquatic animal. We blow it up a little bit here. Here's another one. This is the opposite of the crooked face. And it appears to be some type of whale. Here's another one with a couple of 1, 2, 3 fish on it. There's a bear. What appears to be a bear over here. And here's some kind of design in the middle. Maybe using some kind of indexing or so. I don't think this one here needs very much explanation at all. It's a small stone, about the size of an Ike. Here's another one about the size of an Ike. This is the reverse of it. And this is on a couple of different artifacts. We have, I don't have any idea what that is. This is the symbol for water here. You got me. You got me. This is all over the place. Here's another really small one. This is about the size of a quarter, maybe a little bit larger. Here's the reverse of it. And here's some kind of whale. Looks more like a sperm whale than anything else. Here's another whale, and this is a small one, probably about the size of a $50, Kennedy to $50. And this is a sandstone statue structure here. It's not real clear. It's heavily worn, but it does appear to be cut from native sandstone from right here in Illinois. And it's only about maybe 6 or 7 inches from one end to the other. This is the other side of it. Heavily worn.
Okay, looks like the cat has just polished off another animal. Looks like a shrew. Yep, there's the entrails. Clean it up good. Don't you, kitty? You like that? Now I'm going to try to get you to eat a little can of Fancy Feast, huh?
Now we're going to jump into axe heads and tips. And a lot of these have to be ceremonial because the fiber of the implement itself, these axe heads, these tips, the construct is very soft. Any of these that were ever to strike anything would just shatter. And this piece here is one of them. And it's about maybe, 6.5, 7 inches long. And this is the Black Lavagna. Here's the next one. And you can tell yourself if these are full grooves, double grooves, half grooves, three-quarter, however you wish to discern what style it is. It's got some kind of design here, but I'm probably an eagle or a bird or something. It's not real clear here. Here's another one, probably about 3.5, 4 inches. Here's the other side of it. And that could be a half groove or a 3/4 groove. But it's small. And this piece is in marble. Here's another really decorated axe head. And you can see the groove is like the width of a quarter. But this is a soft stone. This is about 3 inches across. No biggie, but I have to show it to you. This one was rather large, probably about 8.5, 9 inches. It had a wide groove here, and it appeared to be a real hard sandstone. Here's the bottom of it. Here's the next one. It appears to have a bear on it. And that bear would probably be about 2 inches. So this whole thing is probably about 8 inches. Here's the reverse of it. Not a lot to look at. Here are 3 tips. I'm going to call them tips. And, well, that could be an axe head. But it's all soft. This is not like flint or chert. Something that's with a high hardness on Mohs scale. This is really soft stuff. Here's a jewel that I used to own until it fried in my '08 fire because of negligence. And it was a full groove, but it was just polished. And the purples and the blues, when you put any kind of light on it, it had reds, oranges, blues, purples, greens. It had everything. And you could roll it over. It's so well polished. Beautiful piece. And I owned this for, what, 11, 12 years before it got fried in a fire. I loved it. Now we're getting into some more. You can tell by the middle of it, but it's not really an axe head, but it's just an ornamental piece. Here's another one. This is out of marble. And it's not broken, it just has a line scratched through it there. This guy here is adorable. And I featured him, I think, in some other videos. He's a marble piece. Next is this white stone piece. It's similar to marble, but it's not true marble. And you could call that a groove and a half, or a double groove, however. I'll blow it up a little bit more for you. This is not a really exciting section, but it will be for people who collect this kind of stuff. They will see what is in this tomb and correlate with what they found in the nearby counties, I'm sure. Here's another pretty small piece, wide, full groove there. This piece is about 3 inches in length. This is the opposite side of it. Next is this marble carving. It's not real big. What you see there's maybe 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches maybe. I'm going to show it to you. Kind of clumsy looking. From the side. And here's from the other side. Looks like a 3/4 groove. Same stone. Here's another one. It's got like an eagle on the side of it here. This piece is pretty small, probably about 3.5, 4 inches. Here's another one. I think I used to own this one. This is a marble piece. About maybe 4 inches tall, 5 inches, maybe 6. Here's another strange one. This is a duplicate. This is the reverse of it. And this is a real small one, man. This one right here, I've got it in this section. It could go into trinkets. This is like the size of a Kennedy $half. Real small. And it is marble. Here's another one. This is pretty big, like 5.5 inches. This is the reverse of it. Here's another one. It's got some kind of design here. And this is completely rounded. There's no way this right here could ever penetrate anything. Here's the back of it. There's another one. This is about the size, about 3 inches. Real soft. There's another one. There's another one. Blow that up, let you look at that script. Got 2 medicine wheel circle crosses on it. It's got one down here too. This is the reverse of the same stone. We'll blow it up, see if you can get any insight on it. Looks like something eating something, maybe some kind of animal. Who knows? There's 2 more. Here's the reverse of the same 2. This is a real nice piece, marble, Carrara, from Italy. This piece is phosphorescent and fluorescent, full groove, and it's only about maybe 4 or 5 inches. This piece has been in so many collections through the years. And you'll notice that ear is lifted out in bas relief. All of this had to be carved out to make it. Here's the front of him. And this is a picture taken in the mid-1990s.
All right, here's the cat. And here's the fancy feast. Are you hungry? Huh? You want your fancy feast? Let's flip the here. Got the fancy feast. Look over here. You want your fancy feast? This is your favorite. This is your favorite fancy feast. Huh? You don't want it? Okay, that cat has the look of I am unimpressed all over him. He had 2 live catches today. It's right now his favorite. It's like partial snow. That's his calling. He's a good kitty.
Our next category is birds. And these are all kinds of birds. Birds on tablets, birds showing here and there, small trinket, just all kinds of stuff. Here's a really small bird. Here's another one. You'll notice the ankh in the middle, clearly Egyptian. And this piece is really small, maybe the size of a $50. I think I've used this in other videos. Here's what appears to be a small owl, or maybe a hawk. I don't know. This is the other side of the same stone. Here's another really small bird. I'm going to call it a bird. This is the size of a quarter. This picture goes back to the mid-1990s. Here's the reverse of the same stone. This guy here has been in so many different collections and galleries. He's all over the place. I'm not showing the reverse of him. I'm just showing the bird face of him. This bird could have gone in pendants and trinkets, but no. Looks like a falcon or eagle. Clearly Egyptian. Here's the marble bird head that I've used in several videos, and here it is actually cleaned up. Somebody took the time to clean it up a little bit. But just showing its bird head, it's on Carrara marble from Italy. You'll notice these silver inclusions here, which is famously indicative of the Carrara marble pieces. Anything from Carrara marble. This is where Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, every sculptor from Italy, where he wanted his marble to come from, is the same place where this marble piece here came from. Marble has a thumbprint of where it comes from. Always. Always. No matter what the color, the phosphorescence, the fluorescence, and the inclusions. Here's another little bird. This guy's about the size of an Ike. When I say Ike, that means an Eisenhower silver dollar. Let's look at the opposite side of it. Boom. This is a sandstone statue of something like an eagle or a falcon. It's probably about 8 inches tall. Nice carving, but heavily worn. Here's the side of it. And here's the other side. I've shown this tablet before. I took this picture back in 94, 95. And it's clearly got a bird head down it. More looks like a raven here. Looks like a raven. Here's our next one. Looks kind of like an owl carved into it. Let's blow him up, let you look at him. And years ago, Jack Ward, he had put simonized wax on some of them just to bring the carving out. Now it ruins it for forensics, but you could actually see what was going on. Here's the reverse of the same stone. Nothing really spectacular, but it is an owl. You can see his wings overlapping in the back here. The bottom of his tail. Next is this guy, about the size of an Ike. I'm calling it, it's in birds, but it could be something else. This is an owl head I used to have. He lives in, I think, Denver, Colorado right now. Well executed, large, pretty much native sandstone. I bought this owl at an auction for like $3 or $4. This next section is titled Creatures. And I've only got a few, small amount of tablets to show you. And we featured this guy before. I call him Pan sometimes, or different things. Notice the leg work here, and there's a serpent down there. I'm going to blow him up so you can check him out real close. pointing down at that serpent. And this could be something else over here. This could be part of a mural. We don't know. Here's another locally owned tablet. We're calling it a creature, but it's probably, obviously some kind of Egyptian goddess. Here's her name. She is quite comely, even though she has like a dog face. And here's the whole tablet. I put him in creatures, but it could be some type of humanoid or whatever. I'm going to blow him up and let you see the how exquisite the execution is here. Check out that face. This piece is about 3 inches in height. This is going to be another short section on daggers. And this dagger here, and this is all ceremony. You can never kill anybody with that unless you hit them in the head with it or something. But this is carved in marble. And the marble comes from either Italy or Egypt. I'm not sure exactly where. It's not native. This picture dates back to the mid-90s. Here's our next item, and it appears to have a face over here with some kind of collar, and they were calling this back in the 80s diorite. Diorite from Egypt, and I don't know either way. I do know that the piece is quite polished, looks a lot better than it does in this picture. And here's the next one. Nothing spectacular, but I have to show it. And that's all I have in the category of daggers.
Hey boy, I don't know why this cat loves to headbutt the tripod. He sure does love to headbutt this guy. Here, I set it up anywhere, and buddy, that's what he goes for. Cat is ready for his place in the chutes, huh? Aren't you?